Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I am Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC Ultimate Fighter Team Miocic versus Team DC finale, or also known as 27 finale. It is a post-fight rundown of the main card that just happened. Wow, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we had, out of 12 matches, we had 4 finishes, and it felt like, it was nerve-wracking. Yeah, we only had 1 finish on the whole main card, and it was just like, there's a couple decisions that really just didn't seem right. Like the split decision with Mike Trizano, I think that should have been a 29-28 unanimous decision. Luckily, the right person won. Anyhow, yeah, this has been just a topsy-turvy card. You had some good matches on here still, don't get me wrong, but there's some matches where I wish there was a finish. But anyways, yeah, post-fight rundown of the main card, and let's get started. So, in the main event, we had a middleweight clash with Israel Adesanya versus Brad Tavares, and I thought Israel's going to get a flashy third round knockout, wear out Brad Tavares for the first couple of rounds, and then just eventually catch him. But Brad's a durable veteran. I mean, he took some heavy shots. You got to give props to Brad Tavares. I mean, this guy's been in the UFC for ages now, and he's never got the credit and notoriety he deserves. And you know, this is his first main event fight, and I kind of felt like, as a fan, you know, he, you know, maybe could have got a bigger push somewhere in the mix of his career, but I mean, we could all debate that. Israel obviously is getting a very quick push, and he looked like a tough, durable veteran in the UFC already with only his 3rd fight. And yeah, he won 50-45 on 2 of the judges and 49-46 on 1 of the judges. I think that one judge that got 49-46 got it wrong. I think it was easily 50-45 dominant every round. You could even argue maybe a 50-44, maybe one of the rounds be a 10-8 round. But yeah, it was pretty much his takedown defense, land some strikes, takedown defense, land strikes, get taken down, pop up as soon as possible. And that's all. That's pretty much what I figured what would happen, but I was hoping there'd be some big knockout on either end at some point, whether it's Brad or Israel. Anyhow, you know, Israel looked good in this match. He looked dominant. His sprawl every time Brad shot for takedowns looked good. And yeah, I can't wait to see more of Israel, to see, like, okay, now when he fights a high caliber Division I wrestler in the middleweight division, how will that look? And then when he fights, you know, say the top 7 ranked guys in the middleweight division, I think that will be also interesting. Anyhow, so Israel wins unanimous decision. Then in the lightweight division, in the co-main event, we had Mike Trizano, Team Miocic, versus Joe Giannetti from Team DC. And I got this pick right. I got Mike Trizano. He won. I think it should have been unanimous decision, but yeah, they gave it split decision, still to the right guy. Mike really was trying to get that big win in round 3, either by knockout or just a dominant round. I think it was a smart move on him, and I think that's what won him this fight. So Mike Trizano, I hope he is in that New York, the upcoming New York card, whenever that is. And yeah, he's definitely earned his spot in the UFC, being definitely the standout star from Team Miocic. Anyhow, then in the featherweight division for the Ultimate Fighter contract, we had Brad Katona versus Jay Cusinelli, Cusinello, and yeah, Brad Katona trains out of Connor's gym and yeah, it just looked really good. Performance in the ground game, the takedowns, and the dominant positions, and yeah, training with SBG with John Kavanagh looked. You could tell it paid off for Brad Katona, and so yeah, I think the takedowns were the big thing. That's why I got the 30-26 across the board, and who's going to argue with that performance? That performance looked pretty darn good. Hopefully he can get some finishes in the UFC in his upcoming fights. That'll really put him on the map. And he's a smart, well-rounded guy. Great on the strikes, great on the takedowns, great on getting dominant positions, all that stuff. Then also in the featherweight division, we had Alex Bruce Leroy Casares versus Martin Bravo, who won Ultimate Fighter Latin America. This one, it could have gone either way, because Martin did get some good takedowns, especially in that first round. And I was on the edge of my seat because Alex did land some good strikes later in the fight in rounds 2 and 3. And I was kind of wondering how the judges are going to score this. And yeah, I went split decision in favor of Alex Casares. Yeah, I guess you could give it to Alex. Because yeah, in rounds 2 and 3, the strikes were landing for him, and there was seemed to be less takedowns on him getting taken down. So yeah, I think the judges got this one right, and Martin Bravo. Hopefully he comes back and does better next time. But Alex definitely needed a win to really keep his career going in the UFC and moving forward. So congrats to him. Then in the women's flyweight division, we had Roxanne Modafferi versus Barb Honchak. Again, Barb Honchak won the flyweight title in Invicta FC, and Roxanne Modafferi, seasoned veteran in the UFC and Invicta, and she has competed on season 18 of the Ultimate Fighter, and as well as the flyweight season of Ultimate Fighter. TKO elbows round 2 win for Roxanne Modafferi. It was very impressive. Barb Honchak had no answer for the ground game, the ground and pound of Roxanne, and Roxanne definitely has added this to her tools, because previously we've known her as someone who maybe just may go for a submission or do some sloppy stand-up, but her stand-ups have been refined. Her submission skills are still there, and then her wrestling and getting good positions with takedowns has definitely been added to her repertoire. So good job, Roxanne Modafferi. Then to kick off the main card in a catchweight match, which was originally supposed to be a middleweight clash, at 190 pounds, we had Alessio Di Chirico versus Julian Marquez. And it was nice to see Alessio win this fight because he made weight and Julian didn't, from a fan standpoint. Julian Marquez, we all thought he was probably going to win because he missed weight. And usually the guy that missed weight that's a little heavier ends up winning the fight. But yeah, this one decision split. And Alessio was landing some good flashy strikes, and I think it looked good for the judges, so that's why he won the fight. But this fight really could have gone either way on the judges' scorecards. This was really a coin toss. It was a close fight. Some dominant positions on both sides, some great strikes on both sides. Hopefully Julian Marquez makes weight on his next fight, or just decides to move up to light heavyweight. And Alessio definitely had a big win here over a guy that was on the Contender Series and was making waves, and was known for his beard. So hopefully we see more of Julian Marquez, either at light heavyweight or make weight at middleweight. And he's always fun to watch, don't get me wrong. And then Alessio, I can't wait to see where he fights next as a fan. And yeah, this card wasn't too bad, but I just wish there was more finishes. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. Anyhow, that wraps up this post-fight show. Stay tuned for my pre-fight show for UFC 226, Miocic versus DC for the heavyweight championship of the world, the UFC heavyweight championship of the world, that is. And until then, I will see ya.